Welcome back to another Shop My Stash. So today I'm going to be doing something a little different than the October Shop My Stash for my everyday makeup bag. So for November, I'm going to be trying to just dupe an overall vibe. So lately I've been super inspired by these kind of metallic cool toned looks, and I've been really coveting some Victoria Beckham beauty products. So I'm trying to dupe the color stories of the things that I am coveting. Anyways, so yeah, so all of the products that I use in this video are going to be part of my November Shop My Stash and what I'm going to be using in my everyday makeup bag for the month of November. Yeah, so let's get into the look. I'm really happy with it. Like, it's very like grungy, cool toned. It's doing what I want it to do. Okay, so let's get into the video. I love you. Okay, Bones, I will scooch over so you can have more room. He's a temperamental old man. I've noticed that has been trending in makeup right now are these really beautiful eye looks that are cool toned or purple with some gun metallic. There's some taupe, a lot of shimmer, a lot of different textures, and there have been some single eyeshadows and some palettes that have recently been released that sort of have been catching my eye, but I know that I could totally dupe this vibe with some products that I currently own. So when I was shopping my stash, I wanted something that I could either wear by itself or I could wear with other products. So I wanted kind of like a taupey beigey base that leaned cool, because taupes can lean either warm or cool. So it was important for me to find something that could really hold down the fort with applying different textures and different colors. I decided to go with the Dior Monocolor Couture. God, it's so hard to say. And this is in the shade Beige Mitzah. This beautiful taupey shimmer. I wouldn't say it's like a metallic or anything like that. It just has this, well, I guess you could say it's metallic. It has this beautiful like wet look to it. As you can see, if you are a fan of the shade Oyster Pearl in the Eyes to Mesmerize formula by Charlotte Tilbury, this is very similar to that. I would say that Oyster Pearl, when blended out like I'm doing so right now, it does, the base pigment does shift a lot warmer than the Dior Beige Mitzah. But I think that this is a wonderful base for a kind of cool toned look. In the line of kind of like cool beigey pigments, I also reached for the Rowan Cream Eyeshadow Quad in the 52 Degree Cool palette. So this has a gunmetal, it has kind of a taupey color, it has a kind of cooler pink color, which I find very beautiful, and this purple shade. With the lighting here, it's kind of hard to see how purple this actually is, but on the eyes I'm sure you'll be able to see. This is such a gem in my collection, and not that I don't feel like I give it enough love, but I feel like I don't need any of these other palettes or single eyeshadows that have come out because I own this. I think this is such, I don't want to say underrated, because a lot of people love this particular eyeshadow quad. And I think it's very user-friendly. Like, they're not so cool that they're just straight up gray, and also they don't take very much effort to blend out. Since they are this kind of waxy cream formula, they do tend to crease, and especially on me because I have oily hooded lids, but they do have a tendency to crease. But I feel like when they are worn like in this way that's thinly layered and they start to crease, they crease beautifully, if you could believe that there's such a thing. I feel like they give this like very effortless, like I don't, how do I put it? Like rock and roll kind of, oh, I just slapped this on and I've been out all night kind of look. I think that this is such a wonderful palette. And so I'm gonna layer this over top of this. So I swatched them here on my arm so you can see the kind of like cool tone story that's happening within this palette. This is such a beautiful gray. Purple, while it's swatched out, it doesn't read as purple as it is in the pan, but I feel like when it's built up on the lids, it does give that cool purple kind of vibe. So this is what we're going to be working with. All of these on top of this. So my skin is prepped and my eyebrows are done. I used the NYX brow glue and I used the Herborian CC Red Correct all over as my base. And yeah, let's get into it. It's just so silly with my hair pinned up like this. I'm gonna start, I just want to see how it blends out with just using a brush. And I feel like that is just as beautiful as if I was using my fingers, which you can't say that for a lot of very shimmery powder products, or even powder products that have the illusion of being a cream the way this one does. Go ahead and blend this out to provide our taupey base for the rest of the look. Okay, so the Dior Beige Mitzah is completely blended out. I think it's a pretty good base for what we're working with here. So now I'm gonna go into the Rowan 52 Degrees Cool Palette, and I'm going to be taking this taupey shade and this purple shade and putting it all over my lid. Not a lot of color difference between this taupey shade and Beige Mitzah, but it does provide a little bit more emollients and shine to the lid, which is what I am here for. The purple now, and kind of taking that out towards the edge. It's so hard to see with these nails. I hope the lighting is okay today. It's really dark out. Like, it's super overcast. And we're going to be cleaning this up with our complexion product that we're going to be using later. I really like this purple shade mixed with everything. By itself, it's not my favorite shade. I don't dislike it, but it's not something I think to use all that often. But it mixed with everything else, I think it is very pretty. Blend a little bit. Just kind of get everything kind of mushed together here. I don't know if I'm really feeling the gunmetal right now. I think I'll go in with the kind of pinky champagne and kind of put it towards the inner quarter and only take it towards the center. Yeah, that kind of wakes the eye up a little bit. Yeah, that's so pretty. I think, from what I can see in the viewfinder here, we'll kind of yeah, this is doing everything that I feel like a lot of the palettes that are out right now are kind of giving us. Okay, so next is complexion. So a lot of people have been kind of making a big hubbub about stick foundations. Stick foundations kind of like went out of fashion there for a while. Everyone was super into like the hourglass there for a really long time. And now it's all about Westman Atelier and Merit now that they've reformulated. I will admit I was really tempted when it came to Merit after they reformulated and added more product, and after I tried the sample that I was sent by Westman Atelier. I found that my skin looked absolutely stunning. It built nicely, it sank into my skin beautifully. The color match for the shade I was at the time was pretty spot on. I thought it was really beautiful. And then I started to really think about it a little bit more. I started watching some reviews, I started reading about it, I read about it on the actual websites, and it seems like these products are like a 2-in-1. So they're like, you can shear them out. They have kind of a semi-matte to adapting to whatever type of skincare you have underneath type of formula. You could use it as a concealer, a spot treatment, or not a spot treatment. You could use it like a spot corrector, like concealer, or you could thin it out and or you could blend it and use it all over the face. Like, it's kind of a to each their own type of product for both of those products. And I started thinking more and more about it, and I was just kind of like, you know, if you already have like a soft kind of skin-like concealer that's in a pot form, you know? I felt that my NARS Soft Matte Concealer could more or less be the same product, but just in a pot form instead of a stick form. You know what I'm saying? Like, it seems like it's just a concealer stick that might be slightly more emollient, but sometimes not. I don't know, depending on the formula. Using this in the shade, my like lighter shade is Café con Leche, which is light 2.6, like a light warm neutral. Yeah, I really love this concealer. I love it under my eyes. I love it as a spot concealer. I love it thinned out all over the face, which I guess it's just basically what I would be doing with either the Merit Stick Foundation or the Westman Atelier Vital Stick. Like, they just seem like they're the same thing as this. Okay, so I'm just gonna start with this under my eyes. I'm gonna be taking this Rare Beauty concealer brush, and I think this is like perfect for underneath the eyes. It just like hugs your kind of like in here, you know, the hollow. Anyways, so I'm just gonna be roughly putting this in some spots and letting it sit there a little bit. I recently changed my retinol. I'm trying a different retinol, and my skin purged a little bit, so I'm a little bit more broken out than I usually am. I don't have really any type of like acne problems, but I get some things here and there like around my period, and I also like if I change up my skincare with like an active in my skincare, sometimes I will break out, but that's a very normal thing to happen to your skin. I'm just going to be going in where I am a little bit more red. Yeah, this is more or less performing exactly like the Westman Atelier. It might not be as emollient as the Westman Atelier. Plus the Herborian CC Correct is a little mattifying, which I don't mind because I always moisturize my face before I put that product on. Anyways, so this might be a little stiffer than the Westman Atelier, but I have heard that the Merit foundation stick is pretty dry, and people really don't like it under their eyes. But this, I love this under my eyes. As long as you do like thin layers, I think that this lays beautifully on the skin. Now I'm going to take this foundation brush and kind of blend out this concealer, getting the same like effect as I did with my base when I used the Westman Atelier. I can't speak for the Merit because I've never used that before, but I feel like it would be this effect. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't really feel like I need to buy them now. You know, if you already own the NARS Soft Matte Concealer and you enjoy it, then you should just use that, because there's no way you're going to enjoy those things if you don't enjoy the Soft Matte Concealer. You know what I'm saying? They're the same thing. Now that I have my concealer down, I'm just gonna take whatever is left over on my eyeshadow brush and just kind of smudge my lower lash line here a little bit. Okay, now that I put my like contour bronzer on, I can let my hair down so I don't look like a 5-year-old anymore. I used, where'd it go? Oh, I used the Westman Atelier contour stick in the shade Biscuit. I find this to be a very neutral, not neutral, I would say that it's like a bronze contour. Like, it's not so cool toned that it looks gray on your face, but it still sculpts while giving you some bronzy color. My next thing that I've been kind of wanting to get my little paws on is the Victoria Beckham Beauty stick blush in the shade Playground. Now this is a very like neutral brownie nude, very up my alley, and you know me, like I have 1,000,001 of these types of colors. Like Daylily by Rose Inc. and Nudestix color In the Nude are actually a pretty good color dupes for Playground by Victoria Beckham Beauty. So I'm gonna just kind of make a concoction of these two today, and I feel like it's just gonna, you know, scratch that itch, if you will, for me wanting that blush. I probably will end up buying that blush someday, but I'm gonna wait for like a Black Friday sale or something if it happens, because I'm not like in need of a blush that color, because I just want to try it and use it, because I just know that I'll love it. You know what I mean? I've loved everything from Victoria Beckham Beauty that I've ever tried, so I'd probably try that as well. Yeah. Anyways, so I'm just gonna make a concoction of these two. Okay, so I'm first gonna actually just take this kind of up higher. I'm gonna take Daylily, dab into it, and kind of blend them together. Yeah, I feel like that's the same exact effect that Playground, and I could be totally wrong. I feel like this is the same exact effect that Playground may give me when I use it eventually. But from what I can remember from the swatches, this does look like it could possibly be pretty spot on color wise. Yeah, that's really, there she is. Okay, so blush is done. Yeah, I think that these two together, they're very similar shades. I think this one might be a little more on the pink side than this one, but I think that these two did the job. Yeah, I'm really happy with how that blush looks. So there actually aren't any highlights that I'm craving at the moment. So I'm just gonna use this very beautiful glassy highlight from Westman Atelier. I'm using this in the shade Nectar, just for a little extra moisture onto the cheeks since my base was a little bit more matte. Yeah, that looks really great. Base is done. Aren't currently any mascaras that I'm like dying to try, because I recently just tried the Tower 28 and I love it and I use it all the time. But today I just used the Victoria Beckham Beauty Future Lash mascara, since we're kind of on this I want a lot of Victoria Beckham Beauty theme. That's like a big theme in this video, so I figured why not just like use as much of her products as I can. Getting back to the Victoria Beckham train. I really want to try her lipsticks. Now her lipsticks come in a plethora of nude shades, and so the two I want to try the most are Girl, and I think it's like Posh, or like I think it's Spice or something like that. I'll put it in the anyways. And they're both these like kind of like nudie brown colors. You know, they're just, so I figured I could also make another concoction. I'm gonna take the NYX liner in the shade Natural, and then I'm going to possibly take either Merit Slip or the Sephora brand lip lacquer in the shade L21. I particularly want the shade Girl, and Girl seems like it has a lot of like nudie pink in it. Like it's not too pink, but it reminds me a lot of the shade Natural by NYX. So I'm just filling in my entire lip with this liner to provide a base for it to pull a little bit more towards that neutral pink. Take Slip here, which it's not cool tone, but it's not necessarily like the warmest color. And I'm just gonna do a very like sloppy, thin layer of that on top of it. How do I feel? I feel like that could possibly be it. That could possibly be it, but I'm also going to take just a smidge of L21, just right in the middle. These neighbor dogs. Yeah. And this one is a lot more emollient than the Merit Slip in the signature lipstick. This is an amazing hidden gem at Sephora. If you're watching this and the Sephora sale is still happening, pick one of these up. There's a plethora of shades. It performs like a luxury lipstick. They're very, Okay, so I feel like I accomplished what I wanted to. Yeah, I feel like this is very, this look is very in right now. It is like that neutral brownie kind of base products with a cool toned shimmery lid. I totally think this is very successful in the whole concept of duping the vibe. Thank you so much for watching. All of the products will be listed down below, and if you have any questions, please ask me. I think that this is quite the success, and I'm very happy with it. Yeah, I'm super, super happy with this look. So all of these products that I listed will be down below, and they will also be in my November makeup bag. So I may make some different looks with some of these products, probably just like eye look. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and